Hello everybody, this is Kyle from pixelhangover.com, and I just wanted to show you guys just how beautiful a game can be and let you see how it can be. Hi kid. What's up everybody, this is Kyle, and I want to show you guys the Final Fantasy XIV that had just launched today. Well, yesterday for you guys that are watching this now, probably, and maybe weeks ago for those that have checked it out, you know, weeks past. But yeah, it's Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn, you know, all the PC and PS3. We're going to be doing a lot of videos with Final Fantasy, most likely. I just kind of want to get you guys and see this at the intro. I did cut out some of it, but a lot of it's here. And I just kind of want to let you guys see it coming into the game, what it looked like. And, of course, this is my Theramuge and my Black Mage. And I used to know them as Galkas, so I'm going to call them a Galka from Final Fantasy XI. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to let this next part play out because you probably want to hear it. This is just kind of music. You just want to jam to the music, that's fine. But my voice, of course, right, ladies? So there's my Theramuge looking like a black mage and a badass. And this is this guy. Not going to have any of it, I don't think. I think he's going to be my arch enemy if I had to guess. So, alright guys, I'm going to let the next part play out, and I will be right back with you.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance, her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the seventh Umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival would mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm. May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Wow, look at those guns. Ladies, come on, relax. There's plenty for all of you. You can cut a slice off anytime you want. And that pretty face and that gorgeous hair. Look at that hair. Oh man. So the game here is running all max settings, PC, of course, and it looks beautiful. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. I mean, it's leaps and bounds ahead of, you know, Final Fantasy XI. I remember that thing looking like Halo did on the Xbox when it launched, maybe the original, something like that. At least it felt like that. I mean, I understand it's an MMO and it's not going to look amazing, but you know, if I had to compare this to like what I've seen so far of, you know, Elder Scrolls Online, this pretty much blows it away. And I don't know how I feel about Elder Scrolls Online. It with the microtransactions, $15 a month, so on, so on, so on. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that right now. We'll rant and rave on that in the future, right? This is about Japanese style gameplay and an RPG, MMO style. This is the first guy here. He's trying to say, hey, and this is how you walk yourself across the world and guide your camera. Yeah. Old classic AWSD. Of course, I have also heard that you can use your 360 controller if you have one. It's set up pretty much identical to the PS3 controller does, how it does on the PS3. And I will have a video as well on the PS3, kind of probably doing maybe a comparison video, possibly. Possibly, can't give that away yet. But I will be showing PS3 how it looks. You have the 4 on the left side, 4 on the right, and you pull the triggers and all this different stuff, and it pulls out different things that you can hit different buttons and, you know, do all. You see my combo bar there of like 10, you know, and that's quite a bit to try to crunch onto a controller. So I love the tips that they give you. I'm really impressed with how much they're trying to help you along and know how to play the game instead of asking the world and looking like a noob. Most of the stuff's out there, I will say. They do a very good job on that. Of course, this is the first quest. It gives me some, I call it Gil. I don't know what you call it, but it's Gil in my world. Of course, they will have that XP. And a little bit of talkity talk. A little bit of turning heads. And of course, obviously with 14, they made it so that you can actually, with one character, create, you know, multiple jobs, more or less. You know, I could take this guy and he could be anything, more or less. But the problem I have with it is that they have, you know, like when you create your character, they have certain aspects that do better with different jobs. So like mine's set up mainly to do mage damage, you know, or magic damage. So, you know, I could do anything from like a healer to, you know, summoner to, you know, any of that. But if I wanted to tank with this guy, he would not be at the top of his class, let's say, based on that. But I do really like the fact that they give you the option to have one character for all of the classes, you know, where in Final Fantasy XI and pretty much all games, I don't know of any other game that's done this kind of concept where more or less your weapons and everything change and your characters change with them, you know, depending on what job you're switching to. With like, you know, WoW or something, you have to create a whole new character. With Guild Wars, you have to create a whole new character with Rifts, all of them. So I do like that concept. I just don't know how well it's going to play out in the end. When you look at like I was saying, you know, your character here is set up mainly for, you know, heals or, you know, black mage damage or what have you, and then you may have your other characters that's more accessible for something like tanking or damage dealing. You know, almost at the least you have to have a little step toe for you. There's a little step toe. And you have to have a little bit of you have to have three. You have to mainly have 3 classes, more or less. I feel like a little wavy wave. Hello, everybody. Yeah, you have to have easily distract. I'm sorry. This is, of course, my very first, you know, run around in the world, my very first time. But like I was saying, you have to have more or less 3 characters so that you can have, you know, set up one guy when you're creating them to be mostly tank related, one to be, you know, right up DPS damage, you know, up close and personal, warrior, monk, you know, ranger, what have you. And then, of course, you need your ranged and healing type magic guys. So it's kind of good and bad. This, of course, is the first little... This is the main chick you will almost always come back to in this city. And she's kind of like, I guess, the, you know, madam, maybe. Maybe she's the madam that oversees all of the new people, if you will. But yeah, it's I'm enjoying the game this far. It's a beautiful game. plays really well. The servers aren't too bad. They have, of course, had on and off issues with, you know, having people create, you know, new stuff and create new characters, and being able to log into the servers. Like, they'll actually shut down character creation if they see that people are just bombarding the servers or creating an insane amount of characters, what have you. And then, of course, this goes into a little bit of video to show you once again how superior the you know, the ultimate race is. You know, PC forever, through and through. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. It plays a lot more like Final Fantasy XI than I think the original did. Of course, I'm sure many of you know the first Final Fantasy XIV that was released. They they jacked it up quite a bit. Yeah, they went back to the drawing board and said, you know what, we gotta fix what's wrong with this game because it's pretty nasty. And I really commended them for that. I initially didn't even pick up the game because I wasn't really all that interested in it, and what I'd read on it didn't sound amazing. So I wanted to give it a chance to get out there and see how it did. And then, of course, you know, when people started playing it, I started hearing, you know, friends of mine that had played it, like, nah, this is not good. So I decided not to pick it up. And of course, shortly thereafter, they ended up essentially recalling it and saying, we're going to fix this thing and do it right. And, you know, that with me went pretty far. That gave me a lot of encouragement that Square was going to do the right thing and make the game what it should have been in the first place. And I think they've really nailed it. You know, they've got everything that the old Guild Wars, gosh, I'm still in Guild Wars mode. I've been playing a ton of that before this came out. But it's still got everything that the old Final Fantasy XI's had. You know, it's got the Moogles, it's got your room Final Fantasy XI had. It's got your the new things that they did add was fates. It's kind of like in Guild Wars 2, if anyone's played that. It's like a live event, more or less. You just basically run out there, and you know, if you're too high for what the fate is, they call them the fates, the live events. You can actually click this thing that basically recaps your guy to say you're running in the zone and you're level 15 and the fates, you know, for level 8s. You have to click that in order to sync to that level and participate in the fate. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot like Guild Wars, I guess, in that fashion, for the fact that, you know, when you're in zones in Guild Wars, no matter what level you are initially, when you run into that zone, it brings you down to whatever that zone is capped for. You know, you could be 60 or whatever in Guild Wars, and you go to one of the starting zones, you're going to start out at like level 5, 10, what have you. And I guess the fates kind of work in that same fashion. Obviously, when you're running through the zones themselves, not in a fate, you're of course still your level that you would be, you know. So this is just kind of the starting part here. I just want to show you guys the main chick here that essentially runs your world for the time that you're here. Yeah, so you're gonna get to witness some ass kicking, I believe. Oh no. Oh no. No. Somebody help this man. He's about to get beat up by a midget. Oh, he's gotta collect debt. Everyone needs to be afraid of them debt collectors, right? But yeah, this is it's a good game. You guys are gonna see a lot of these videos. Probably not as long as this video, maybe, but you're definitely gonna see a lot of them. And I hope you guys like the little splash screen at the very front. You know, I had that one whipped up by our very own Ryan, YouTube Numb Mofo fellow guy. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here. And if you guys have any questions, want to play with us, we are an Exodus server. There's a few of us, not a ton of us. You know, I kind of get made fun of for playing this because, you know, they're like, hey, you know, Monster, that's a manly game. You got to be careful how much you play that. You might turn into a real man, like a I don't know, like a Galka. You know, you might be a grown man playing this game. And I said, yep, I am a grown man playing this game, and it's I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not afraid to say it. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have anything you want to add, any requests, anything like that, hit us up. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and we will be seeing you soon. Thanks, guys. Take care.